Hello there. The Lights Thunder Action is back once again, like we never dang left. We're going to be diving into She-Hulk episode 6, House of the Dragon episodes 4 and 5. Will JRB finally watch this show? Probably not. Probably not. He's already shaking his head down there in the lobby. Then we'll dive into the news. I said all of that out of order. It's okay. We got you here. Give us 30 seconds and we'll be going live. Episode 101 of Lights Thunder Action is here and in your ears. This episode, we're going to be talking about House of the Dragons episode 4 and 5, pitching JRB to finally watch this damn show of fire and blood. Will it happen? Stay tuned to find out. We're going to dive into a significant amount of news, as much as we can in 60 hours, booze. And then in the back half of this episode, we're going to be joined by Jade Rafallo, the film queen herself, to discuss She-Hulk episode 6, Just Jen. We'll see you all after the jump. Welcome to
LTA with
TCR
and JRB.
This is where the fun begins.
You're just not thinking fourth dimensional.
Slowness.
Peter 3.
Num num.
I'm vengeance.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup. I love you guys.
Hold on to your butts.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
Dude, I almost had you.
To that I say, all right.
Good afternoon, evening. It is September 22nd, 2022, and it is time for your Thursday night afternoon pick-me-up, where two Thunder Buddies dive into all things Marvel, DC, pop culture, IP, and the latest happenings in the film industry. And today we're joined by Lady in the background. Hi, doggy.
Lady is here. Lady is live, and she is slumped, as always. Thomas and I tonight are celebrating episode 101, which is a bit of a hangover from the 100th episode. We're going to be speaking about the rest of D23, because we didn't really cover everything that happened. Plus some other news that came up in the last week or two. And then, like Thomas mentioned before the show started off, we'll also be joined by Jade Rafallo to talk about She-Hulk 6 episode, which very conveniently left out Daredevil, but we'll get to that later. First of all, Thomas, where can everyone find our show?
We are live beaming directly into your homes and phones via our Lights Thunder Action Facebook and the HWWS WebTV channel on Twitter and YouTube. You can find all of those links at Linktree.com/LightsThunderAction. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow to view the live version of our show where you can interact with us. Drop some comments if you're here hanging out with us, people. But if you don't want to look at our beautiful bearded faces, but you love to hear our beautiful bearded voices,
then you can find our beautiful voices on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Spotify. Please follow and subscribe on those platforms. Give us a review, preferably 5 stars, and ask us a question in that review. And as always, we'll bring it right here on the show and answer it for you. So, with all that out of the way, Thomas, we are on the back end of episode 100 now. We're in the 10-somethings now. 101.
We're in the 10-somethings. It's only
we're
been
in,
one episode.
We're in the 10s. 10s. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot.
We're in the 1001 year of our Lord and Savior, Lady the Doge. And we're here to take naps, get cuddles, treats when necessary. It's gonna be a fun time. How you doing, bud? It's been a week. I
It's
feel
a
like it's been a
whole
long
7
week.
days.
It's been a whole hell of a 7 days. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy week 2 for NFL.
Yes. Oh my
I
god.
mean, it's crazy how fast it's already going. But
Mhm.
I'm loving that we're back in football season now because the weather's just starting to turn, where you can just start to feel that fall weather coming through. At least maybe
there,
up here. Yeah, probably not where you are. It's probably still scorching hot and all muggy.
we had our false fall number 1, which
Mm-hmm.
meant we got about 3 days of decent weather, and now it's back in the hundreds. So yay.
Wow.
Just a real quick tease. It does it every year, so I knew what to expect. Come about this time next week, it might be a little bit better. Unconfirmed, to say the least.
Always unconfirmed.
Always around, October, the beginning of October, it chills out for another couple days and we get false fall hangover number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets hot again, and then closer to Halloween, it really starts taking a. By the way, we're gonna get cold in the next month and a half, so we shall see how that cookie crumbles. I can't believe I just quoted that coach. It is what it is, man. We lost every game with that guy. But outside of football, big things are happening down here for you. I'm usually the most north outside of Canada for the rebellion. I signed my offer letter yesterday for a new job, a new real job. So that's exciting. Can fund my
There we go. What are we signing up for?
I'm gonna use that good old civil engineering degree that I got and I busted my ass for, and then just chose never to use because acting.
Look at you.
But I'm gonna use it to fund more acting trips, more just leisure trips, and some of my own films, and paying my friends to help me with those, because that's what this business is about. Working with friends. It's all about having friends from work and making magic together. So I'm excited to do that. A lot of great opportunities. Am I scared? Naturally. But going to be exciting times, man. And football season's here. The Cowboys are 1-1. Life's looking sideways as always. But how's it? How are you, man? How's life outside of this square screen?
It's good, man. It's good, man. Congrats on the new gig. I'm excited for you. Things are going well here. You can tell by Lady's composure that we're living pretty comfortably. Things are going well. Man, she just doesn't have a care in the world right now.
She gives no cares, man.
Lady.
Why should she? She's a dog. She's living the dream.
Yeah, no, she doesn't care at all. Man, this past week, I've heard a lot about this Game of Thrones show that's been on HBO Max, House of the Dragon.
Yes.
And I got to say that out of every week so far, I've heard reactions pretty much everywhere I go. But this past week has been a bit more exaggerated than usual. Was this week's episode really that crazy? Or are people just...
Yes.
Is it really getting that good?
It's insane. First off, it was always this good, but now it's doing what we always expect from Game of Thrones, which is kill everybody. Spoiler alert, that's not true. Spoiler alert again, maybe it is. We'll find out. So we didn't get to talk last week about episode 4. Episode 4 was the como se dice, the sex of Game of Thrones. It was all about the sex. I'm just going to break it down. Essentially, Princess Rhaenyra does not want to get married, and Daemon Targaryen, the brother of the king, comes in and causes pure, unadulterated chaos. Is welcomed back into his arms of the king as a good brother because he won the war and whatever. Now he's the king of the Stepstones and blah, blah, blah. It's all a front. It's a front to try and get the king to marry his daughter to his brother, because Game of Thrones does that. And he utilizes a secret compartment, like a secret passageway, gets Rhaenyra out. They go to a brothel. Things get weird. The Targaryens, I'm not sure if anyone's watched Game of Thrones. JRB has not. The Targaryens have a very strong history of keeping their bloodline pure, with strong quotations, meaning they marry within the family. So a little bit of crazy, a little bit happens. Daemon, Rhaenyra, they kiss a little bit. They get a little flirty. a little bit more than flirty, maybe physical, a little bit physical. And then as soon as Damon realizes he's no longer in control of the situation, he dips out because he can't finish, which is a line that's going to be very important at the very beginning of the next episode, which is great. And Rhaenyra goes on to sleep with her guardian, I guess, her literal knight in shining armor from the Kingsguard. And the rumor gets out that Rhaenyra and Damon were seen coupling together in a brothel. When confronted, it all goes to hell in a handbasket. Rhaenyra lies and says it never happened, and then confronts the king to fire his best friend from being the hand, and it goes downhill fast. And then the queen, who is Rhaenyra's best friend, and also her dad is the hand of the king, and also she's married to the king, is stuck in the weird middle, and that leads to pure unadulterated chaos where, oh boy, Rhaenyra gets what she wants. The king kind of gets what he wants. He banishes Damon for the third or fourth time in the season because it happens in every episode, but it was a kind of right after, if I'm not mistaken. I think these last three episodes were like, these last three episodes weren't super far apart in time, if I'm not mistaken, but okay. I digest. It ends, and it's just pure craziness. There's a juxtaposition between Rhaenyra having absolute fun and intimacy and love in what she's doing with Kristen Cole, who's the knight in shining armor, with it's very aggressively and darkly juxtaposed with the queen being incredibly bored with the king and their time together. And she's basically mentioned many times, like, no, just pop out a baby, it'll be fine. And mind you, these kids are like 17, 18. Because again, it does that. David Nestor hanging out here in the comments is also giving JRB some crap about having not watched it. David, do you think he's going to watch it now? I don't know if he will, but I'm damn gonna
I don't know.
try.
We're right back in the thick of it where I feel like we're hearing about it pretty much everywhere now again. And I want to say it was like what, 2017, 2018, where it was just like that.
Something
And
like that,
so yeah, no, it was nice to have a break, but now I'm surrounded by the talk of this show again, and I don't know,
yes.
I might get sucked into it finally.
Yes, you should get sucked into it, because in the end of that episode, Rhaenyra agrees to marry her cousin. Again, it stays a thing, Laenor Valerian, who is the son. Do you remember when I said they tried to marry the king with a 12-year-old little girl?
Yeah. Yes.
That Laenor is the 12-year-old little girl's older brother. And so to keep the family strong ties and blah, 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 because it's politics, to keep the political ties strong, she agrees to marry Laenor, and she says it's a business arrangement. Jump to episode 5. They go out there. Laenor's totally not into women at all. And Rhaenyra's totally not into Laenor at all. And they come into a political agreement that, you know, it's business. We do this. We keep our throne. We keep this. And then you have your fun. I'll have my fun. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful marriage business arrangement. Jump to the wedding. Prior to the wedding, excuse me, there's a very important scene here. The Queen Alicent, Rhaenyra's best friend, confronts Kristen Cole because she's wanting to get information on the rumor is the word of Damon and Rhaenyra's time together, because again, her father was fired, and someone mentions to her, oh, a tea was brought to her that is supposed to I don't know what the word is. Basically a contraceptive tea is what it's made out to be. So she then goes and confronts Kristen Cole, and she's asking, just wanting to know, like, there's a rumor that she went around and she slept with someone, and, you know, I just want to know if it's true. And he's like, it's true. I'm sorry. I slept with her. And she's like, hold up. What? You slept with, I was trying to figure out Damon. She says none of this, by the way. She turns around and cries because she's like, why wouldn't Rhaenyra tell me about it? And it's like, well, you know, jump to the wedding. They're doing their shtick. You know, everyone comes in and blah, bloopity, bloopity, blah. And throughout the ceremony, Laenor's, I don't want to say betrothed because that's Rhaenyra. His side piece realizes who Rhaenyra's side piece is and goes and eventually confronts him, saying, I know your secret, you know mine, and that's all we need to know. But before all that happens, because I'm jumping around, I forgot about Alicent coming in late to the party, and then she comes and looks at Rhaenyra and says, congratulations, stepdaughter. And she's wearing all green. Yeah, she's wearing all green, and it's mentioned that when Old Town is ready to signal for war, what color is their flag when they do so, or the flame? And it's green. So she comes in ready for war. Jump forward. Essentially, the wedding goes to shit because weddings in Game of Thrones never go off without a hitch. The hitch is Kristen Cole snaps and beats the shit. And when I say the shit, I mean the brains literally out of Laenor's side piece. So the wedding ends with Laenor's beloved dead in a gruesome ass fashion, and Rhaenyra hit her side piece trying to kill himself, only for Alicent the queen to stop him. They juxtapose that scene with a shotgun wedding of all get out between Rhaenyra and Laenor so they can get it done. And it is as cold of a wedding ceremony as you could possibly imagine, because the blood of his beloved is still sitting on the floor about 50 feet away from him. Yeah. Yep. Indeed. Then the king falls down, and this whole time he's now missing 2 fingers. He's been cut and slowly dying this entire season, and he's within 1 or 2 episodes of pure unadulterated death. If he makes it to the end of the season, I'm gonna be super surprised. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. Next week, big time jump, all new actors for our main characters that were youngins. We get a new Laenor, we get a new Rhaenyra, we get a new daughter, sister of Laenor. I can't remember her name. She was also a teenager in this episode. Her and Daemon also flirted really well. In the preview, they got kids. Rhaenyra got kids. Rhaenyra's kids are not blonde, which means, considering her and her husband are blonde. Thank you. I hate myself for that.
Oh god.
Yeah. Are both, Targaryen, Valerian blonde, and her kids are literally not blonde at all. Something's fishy here in this gene pool. We're gonna see where it all goes. Shit is crazy. It was dubbed the Green Wedding. If you look up Red Wedding and then Purple Wedding and then Green Wedding, you'll see some insanity.
There's a
JRB.
purple one too. I've heard about the red one.
Everybody knows the red one, but the purple one is one of my personal favorites because of who dies. Fuck that kid.
Wow. Okay, so David Nestor is telling me that he hasn't watched this either, but House of the Dragon talk got him into Game of Thrones, and now he's starting season 4, and it's so good. See, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like everyone's talking about this House of the Dragon thing. I'm like, I want to be a part of this, but like I can't jump in.
Okay.
And
what if I told
have
you
the background of the 8 or 9 seasons of the regular show,
But you're set 174 years prior to that show. So the only thing that they mention that you need to know is the Song of Ice and Fire. That is basically a tease for the entire season, like series of Game of Thrones, right? Everything else happening, the only thing you need to get from Game of Thrones before going into this is how fucked up it is. And now, JRB, I've told you what happens. Cousins marry cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, there was literally a point where someone suggested Rhaenyra be betrothed to her 2-year-old brother and wait until he's old enough. And then, dude, I'm not kidding you at all. It's insanity. I think we're about to hit a 10 to 12-year time jump because the babies are no longer babies. And kids that we have not yet met from Rhaenyra are about 10 to 12 years old. Dude. Everything's about to get crazy. And I saw that the series season finale of this is called The Black Queen.
Ooh.
And if that doesn't sound imposing, especially considering what I found out on a spoiler section of a podcast recently.
What episode are we on now?
We are about to hit episode 6. Yes, that sounds right.
So much
Sorry.
confidence in that. So you're
Well,
like halfway
what-
through.
Yeah, what got me is because She-Hulk is on episode 6 right now. House of the
Yeah.
Dragon is about to hit episode 6, but House of the Dragon is a week longer than She-Hulk, so it throws my mind off just a smudging.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's like, oh, we've got 3 episodes of She-Hulk left, and now it's like we got 4 episodes of. Actually, we now have 5 episodes of House of the Dragon left. After Sunday, we got 4, so I'm trying to keep numbers combobulated.
Lots going on. Yeah.
House of the Dragon, you gonna watch it before we jump into the news?
Probably
Gun
not.
to your head, dragon to your head. No,
Still no. I don't. Well, if there's gun to my head and I say no, does that mean I die? What's the
Yep.
gun to my head scenario?
Yep.
That's it. Just watch it or die.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't know why it escalated so much this week, but yeah. Okay. Gun to my head. I
It
think I'd probably-
escalated.
I'd probably have to
along
check it
with the
out. Yeah.
show.
No.
You
yeah.
gotta check it out.
You should have just asked me that before we started doing these weekly reviews. I would have said yeah.
But would
You
you
should have
watched
just
it?
put the gun to my head.
I should have. Would you have watched it?
Probably.
Well, now
I
you
can't
have. Now you can binge 5 episodes and be like, "What the fuck?" Because then you'll know what you're getting into.
That's
And-
true. Yeah, I don't have to start with just one installment.
Exactly.
I can crank through a few at a time,
Yeah, and
which I
it
don't
helps.
usually like doing though.
You don't like cranking?
I
Oh, watch
not a
one
big
day.
cranker. Not
You get
not
watch
a
one a day.
one a day. That okay? Yeah, I've actually been doing that with these DC animated movies lately.
Okay.
We'll get into that later, but one a day seems doable. Maybe I will get into it. We'll see.
Well,
We'll see. How many
I'm
weeks we
glad-
got left? 5.
5.
We got time.
After this week, you can watch 2 episodes a week, and you'll catch up to the finale. So it'll be fun. I mean, the finale will be out before you get there, is what I mean. But don't fret, my good companion. You mentioned DC animated movies, which means we have to jump to our what the news? Forgot how to intro my own segment. Everyone's favorite topic. Sorry. What the news? So the DC's League of Superhero Pets is actually set to stream on HBO Max this coming Monday, September 26th. No gun to your head. Are you going to watch it?
I am. Yeah, I did want to see this in theaters. It's just like it wasn't at the top of my list, and it came out at a time where I think all the movies that I had wanted to see had just come out before that, and so I had just been in the movie theater a few times within the last month. Yeah, no, I will watch it. It just didn't seem like it was worth the trip, but I've heard
I
good
feel
things
that.
about it. I've heard good
I've
things. Are you going to watch it?
Absolutely. I'm in the same boat as you are. On the National Cinema Day, I was going to go watch it, but I had to record an audition. So I decided to go record the audition instead of sitting through another 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Or another 2-hour movie because I watched Dragon Ball Superhero. I don't remember if we talked about it. Oh my God, it was so good. Everyone should go watch Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Superhero. I can't wait for it to be in my house on my Vudu so I can watch it whenever, Hoodoo. Sorry.
Wow. Okay, was that good, huh? I went to go see the extended cut of Spider-Man No Way Home that day, so I
Mistake.
should have seen this.
You should have seen this. Yeah. This
Wow.
is it's 100% a superhero movie, but it's set within Dragon Ball the universe, and everything that happens in it basically pays off. We're in the year 2022. If I'm not mistaken, I was 11 when Gohan became the strongest of them all, and that's 19 years ago, and he finally got back to his fighting form. So that's exciting. It's so good, dude. But another DC news story that we have really quick is we have our next DC TV crossover, and it's going to be between Stargirl and everyone's favorite DC show right now, Titans. Asterisk, I don't know if that's true. I don't talk to anybody who watches DC TV, but it's my favorite DC TV show right now. I stopped watching The Flash. I'm sorry to The Flash. I love Flash.
Don't
but
be sorry. It's okay. It went for what, 9 seasons?
We're working on something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm very excited to watch Titans season 4. Rumor has it I saw a preview recently last night while watching AEW, and it had season 2 of Titans. Essentially, they're talking about Deathstroke, he's like, and stream new season of DC Titans on HBO Max coming soon. And I'm like, whoa. If they say coming soon, that usually means within like 3 months. So we might be getting Titans this month, like before the end of this year.
Oh wow.
Fingers crossed over, because I want to. Do you watch Titans?
No, I don't.
Jesus
The
Why did
live
I
ac-
ask?
the live action DC stuff, really the only show I'm into is Superman and Lois.
Ooh, good point. Good fair.
Oh man, that one's so good. But yeah, other than that, I really don't get into the DC live action stuff.
Okay.
Not recently.
That's fair. I mean, I understand that. Everybody's got their own flavor.
Is Titans like? Is it? Would you recommend it, or is it more like
Yes.
Yeah?
I absolutely recommend it, especially now. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was better, but they had to spend the entire season giving you essentially a one-shot episode of each character and their backstory. Because,
Gotcha.
you know, that's how things work. So once they got to the culmination of that season, it was fantastic. But it took a while to get there week to week. So now you can just binge it, or you can watch it at your leisure, essentially. Season 3, peak. Like, the writing is exponentially better. The characters are better. They still make stupid ass decisions, but dude, it's so good and it pays off so well.
Really?
I highly recommend it.
Wow.
I'm very excited for season 4. I don't even remember what happened at the end of last season because it's been so long ago that I need to go back and rewatch it. And I'm excited to go back and rewatch it because it's just on a different level, man. The emotional payoff of that season 3, peak.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I know there's other DC shows running right now, but I really haven't given any of them a chance.
Well, you know, there's always this time.
Great pitch. I love it. There's always this time.
There's always this time.
Kathy Irizarry in the chat saying, I want to see it too. I know she's referring to the Super Pets movie and not Titans.
Yes.
Have you heard anything bad about that Super Pets movie? Because
no.
Although I didn't give it a chance in theaters, I do think it was received rather well. And
yeah,
even through the slump of like August and into September, I saw it continue to do well at the box office too.
Yes, it did. It handled itself very well. It has it has Black Adam show up in it, I read. And it's The Rock.
Of course, that's right.
Shocking that The Rock shows up in his own movie.
Black Adam's
voicing the main character. Yeah,
and he's the main character, and also Black Adam's in it.
Interesting, very
Crazy.
interesting.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe. It's just stacks of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I mean,
it's
like
it's
like
Schrute's
Hollywood
flow chart or whatever chart from The Office of like the power structure in The Office, and like every box is just Dwayne Johnson. That's gonna be how he fixes it. He just takes it over, and he's everything now.
He's everyone. Oh, the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson DC universe. He's Superman. He's Batman. He's Black Adam.
That's something we didn't talk about last week. Is the new Black Adam trailer? Every time I see a piece of promo for this movie, dude, it looks even cooler. Like I think I'm genuinely excited for this movie now. I was pretty hyped for it before, but I was also a little bit hesitant. I hope DC's not tricking me again because they keep doing this, but I'm genuinely excited to see this movie.
I'm on media blackout. As soon as I saw that last trailer, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to see anything more. I was sold when they told me The Rock was Black Adam. I was like, you got my ticket.
You're just choosing to go in cold. You're like, whatever they give me, I'm in.
Dude, the last trailer revealed enough for me to go, oh, this really is going to set up a will he, won't he, be good, be bad, and I just don't want any more hints as to what he may choose. So
yeah, I think he's choosing bad. I think he's going bad.
So too. If he doesn't, I'm gonna be upset. We need to move on. And you want to talk about choosing bad? Oh baby, did Wanda choose bad in Multiverse of Madness? But we're gonna watch a deleted scene from an action piece because it is. I cannot imagine how insane the internet would have been. It's insane already with watching this deleted stunt scene. It would have been crazier if we'd watched it. Let's take a peek. Kamertage, Wanda versus Warriors. So we've got a stunt actress here being slice. So that dude's headless and now reanimated to fight. Come on.
That's wild.
Snap 2 necks.
That
Ripped
was
out
a
his
Sam
brain.
Raimi shot right there too.
She vecna.
Oh my
that
goodness.
dude. That is insanity.
That was all one shot,
Can
right?
you imagine? That was a single shot. You know how awesome? You know how much I love one shots, one takes in general? Then you do it in an action scene?
Yeah.
God. Cinema.
was-
JRB.
that-
Cinema.
Man, that really would have been a nice little layer of icing for that movie. Not to say that it was missing something like that, but also it kind of was. Like every action sequence in that movie, in my opinion, felt not rushed, but definitely brief. And having just another instance or two like that, I think would have added a little more substance to those scenes. That was brutal.
That was like 30 seconds too.
I'm thinking they just cut that out because of how intense and graphic it was. I don't think it had anything to do with the style of the film other than that it would have maybe pushed for an R rating at that point.
Would have. That's a hard R rating. There's a lot of blood there.
Mhm.
In just the previs alone.
Lots of heads coming off of bodies there too. And
Heads
bodies
in a
being
row.
repurposed, like
Vecna.
she's trying to fit him in a suitcase. What? Like, that was insane.
She vecna'd to him real quick.
Yeah,
And also,
that was
I'm trying to think. Episode 2, episode 3, Anakin grabs a bunch of droids and just crushes them down into a ball. It's like that too. She's out here and I'm watching. I'm like, man, she's force fighting the shit
She's
out
a
of these
magical
kids.
trash compactor, dude.
Hey, we don't talk about the trash compactor when it comes to Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? We have terror
Fair enough.
of that. Really quick before we move on, Terry McIver in the comments, with the storm of with the storm of excrement, oh, what a well-worded fellow, that has followed the Flash movie, do you think we'll finally get DC taking a risk on the actors they build up so well on TV over a long period of time and put them on the big screen? I'm gonna be honest, no, I do not see DC and WB taking any kind of risk at this point after the debacle of canceling the Batgirl. What about you?
I don't know. I think it's such a different medium between TV and the big screen. The actors aren't always suited to make that jump, but if they are, like I really like the guy that plays the TV Flash, Grant Gustin.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen a little bit of his work, but I think he would do great in that capacity. But overall, it would be weird to jump from a movie to TV back and forth, and it would kind of then make it feel like those TV shows were homework. And for an audience that's not following that, you can't really rely on that as backstory. You kind of have to bring a story that has a beginning, a middle, and some sort of end to that movie, So it'd be cool, but it would also be hard to do that.
I feel that. Terry goes on to say fans invest hours, days, weeks, years following these actors / characters on TV, and in most cases, they completely buy into them. Then the next thing a studio comes along and replaces an actor as they're not seen as bankable. I think the only way they could do it is reboot the characters with the actors inside of a movie.
See, do we have what examples do we have of this? Because I know there are definitely times where there's recasting and there's always, however harsh the reason is, there are times where this happens. But is this happening that frequently where people are latching onto these actors and then they're getting swept out from under them and things are getting switched?
You mean when Man of Steel was coming out and everyone wanted Tom Welling to play him because Smallville had just ended, but then they didn't, and everybody got angry because they cast Henry Cavill? Or we could talk about Batman and any of the Batman actors that have ever existed, always wanting to come back. Flash, No one really was worried about Wonder Woman because it would be Linda Carter, and she was a while in the past. When Arrow started, and it wasn't, oh man, Alan Ritchson played Aquaman. I don't remember who played Oliver Queen, but some people were upset that it wasn't the same actor. There's a lot that they do have a following. And
no, I get that, but like all those stories you just named, like they're not dependent on the actor coming from that other project. Like Man of Steel didn't have the exact same origin story as Smallville, you know, like they could have written it that way, I guess, but at the same time,
so
like
you're asking if there's precedent to come directly from the show with the same lore into a movie.
oh, you just want to use the same actor?
I honestly think that's the only way it could happen. I don't see them saying.
I think that would
hey,
confuse people even more. I don't, because then everyone would think it was connected to the show.
Sorry, I must be related to Warner Brothers Discovery, because that's exactly what I thought would be easier, and here they are not doing that. So.
I did like that Flashpoint event that they had, or Elseworld or whatever, where the two Flashes met and Ezra Miller was on TV with Grant Gustin. I thought that was actually a pretty cool idea.
Grant Gustin's going to be in the movie.
Do you think so?
Oh no, it's been well, I mean, it could change because, you know, it's existed for 100 years.
But like there's been rumblings of him showing up.
There's been rumblings of him showing up. Somebody even reported he was seen on set. No photos were taken as far as I'm aware of. But yeah, man, it happens. It'd be like that sometimes, right?
I think it'd be cool. I can't picture an instance where it would be necessary, but if someone wanted to try it, I mean, we basically do it with Disney Plus and the MCU now, you know?
True.
So, I mean,
exactly.
If you can make it work in that sort of way where it kind of weaves in and out, you know, if you can establish that universe, I think they're only 1 or 2 steps away from that.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I have zero faith.
Peacemaker basically did that when you think about it.
You mean James Gunn basically?
It's right there. It's right there. It's just not network television, you know?
Yeah, which is like if it were on HBO, like on cable, I think it would have landed. I think it would have a bigger following.
I think so too.
I mean, House of the Dragon is like, everyone's like, oh my God, these numbers are crazy. It's on cable, kids. It's on cable. It started on cable. We just happen to be in a digital world where most of us watch on that Max, on the Habo Max.
We turn on the Habo Max and we just let it run.
Yeah, let's fly off to our next topic with Danny Ramirez is officially the Falcon. Anthony Mackie was, you know, talking, and he said, you know, I'm thrilled, you know, Danny Ramirez, who's playing Falcon. He and I go back a bit.
Huge drop right there, like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing.
Huge flex that he's just dropping that, like everyone should know by now.
Absolutely. So, you know, getting to work with them, first of all, director to actor. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not from, I totally misread the article. This is from the director of Captain America.
Ah, that makes sense. He's
A New World Order
giving us the projects.
He's the one giving us the deets.
Yeah.
You know, he's excited to work with Danny and Anthony, and, you know, their relationship is one of the favorite ones in the movie. He says, because it really forms the emotional core of how Sam has to define himself as Captain America because he loves this guy.
Man,
they are both soldiers, they're brothers, and their journey, I think it's going to be something that's really resonant with audiences. And that's not too different from Sam and Steve in The Winter Soldier. They bond over their war history, their trauma, etc. So makes sense that that's the way that they're going to lean here. And I don't know if you've seen his costume in the comics, but holy tits, dude, it's real nice. It's a real nice
yeah,
image.
I'm actually pulling it up right now because when I heard that he was popping into this, that he was going to be in the MCU and kind of take Falcon's place, I had to look him up, and he looks even cooler than Sam Wilson's Falcon. He's a pretty cool guy, and I like how his wings are kind of more like not phased into his skin, but it kind of looks like it's more naturally blended. Like I doubt the MCU version will be like that, but
yeah, he might actually have Falcon DNA into his blood to be dead.
I mean, like, look at this. There's feathers coming out of his arm here. Like,
yeah, no, that's what I mean. In the comics, I'm
wild.
pretty sure he has like weird DNA.
They usually do that. Like when they introduce like a legacy character, they usually take it like one step further with how they get their powers. But yeah, no, I think this is awesome. We kind of expected him to take that spot with how they teased it in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but you never know where those things end up going. So yeah, I think it's really cool that he's hopping on the train. He's actually going to be an MCU superhero.
And what's even better is he's kind of a big deal. I mean, he was just in the biggest movie of this entire decade. Honestly, I don't know if anything will top Top Gun Maverick. I mean, we'll see how the next 8 years go, but Top Gun Maverick, man, is the biggest movie since Endgame.
Yeah.
By a lot. By a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And he's a huge part of that. And he's probably going to be in the sequel because he didn't die. Because no one died. Spoiler alert, no one died in that movie, but it's fine.
Spoiler alert. The whole world's seen it at this point.
Have they? I genuinely don't know, honestly. I'm sure they
either
have.
The whole world has seen it once, or 20% of the world has
never seen it once
at least 3 times.
Well, somebody paid like $300 to see a movie that many times. So good job with the math. Let's jump to D23 leftovers because I have a vision in mind of how these universes are going to connect, and that's King Thanos winning Avengers Endgame. I'm gonna let you take this away because you're way more hype on the King Thanos than I am. I just want to see him die.
I'm so excited for this. So they snuck in this announcement on, I think it was Sunday of D23, where they, as part of a Boundless Future Disney Parks experiences and the products presentation, it was revealed that King Thanos will make his MCU debut as part of the new attraction at Disneyland. So like they specifically said MCU, so connected to the universe that is telling these stories with the movies and with the Disney Plus series. It went on to say that Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige said the main difference between this version of Thanos and the one seen in the theatrical MCU films is that this one won the battle against Earth's mightiest heroes. So this Thanos won the events of Endgame. They released a picture of him too. I got to pull that up because that is
of just him.
Yeah. Like it was like a promo or concept art. Here it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is just. And then there's a wide shot of him, and you can see all these different characters. We have like the Spider-Man freshman year animated Peter Parker over here, and some people from What If. But then you have Daredevil up here too, and Natasha's in the background. Yeah. And then Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night are over here. So they're crossing over a ton of different things here. And they're blending the parks in. What was that?
I was going to say you've got Mighty Thor, 2 different male Hulks, She-Hulk, all the Captain.
Iron Man's back, baby.
All the Americas are in the same, but you got Captain America.
Yeah,
Steve,
they
Captain
kind of grouped
America.
Everyone together. Like you got 3 Hulks over here. You've got the monsters over here with Doctor Strange down there conveniently. You've got all the OG. Well, not OG. I guess not everyone. But then Spidey's are together. Animated's together. They kind of mostly grouped everything together here. Yeah. Like they're jumping from similar universes or something. This might be the first tease into what Secret Wars can look like. For what we're gonna see in phases 5 and 6, but yeah, King Thanos, man, pretty freaking cool. He could show up in live action. He could definitely show up in live action. With the way that Josh Brolin, I don't think he's done. We saw him a little shot of him in Multiverse of Madness. I think they're gonna keep using Thanos. But the attraction is described to include both new returning heroes from Marvel Studios canon, coming with a gorgeous piece of promotional art of the myriad of Marvel heroes. And that was what we had just looked at. So this comes to us from our family over at the Direct. This is the 3rd attraction to open at the California campus, the Avengers campus. And they said that it's the way they described it is they're going to join to fight to stop a new threat, King Thanos, a multiverse variant designed specifically for Avengers Campus. So we're probably not going to see him pop up anytime soon, but this is definitely a new variant of a character that they can pull from later on, whether it's in another season of What If, or if it really is something down the line in like Secret Wars when we see all these other multiverse hopping scenarios. I don't know. What do you think of King Thanos? Like, is this too OP? Like, how do you even think he won?
Pure unadulterated. Well, they only had one of those scenarios that they won, right? 14,308,000 or whatever it was, and only one of them was a victory. You got 14,307 possibilities on how he won. My assumption: Iron Man didn't lay on the wire. I think it comes down to he just didn't.
There's probably a lot of universes like that. If we're being honest, they can't all be good.
I mean, that's the only way that he wins, right? That's the only way that we know that we win. So it could come down to that. It could come down to Captain Marvel not being there. It could come down to Scott Lang not coming back. I mean,
where do you think this crown is from? I mean, this crown looks like, honestly, it looks Atlantean.
What if I told you it's from the comics and I don't have a better answer than that?
Oh, you're right. I think it is actually.
It is.
If we scroll down further in here, I want to say, I guess they didn't include a picture of it, but no, it is like a direct comic reference. You're right.
Yeah. So hold on, go back up to the top where it's much closer on his face because that's a tiny screen and I'm an old man.
Oh yeah.
Part of that helmet, his helmet already looked like that. However, it looks a little bit more closed, more similar to Asgardian helmets.
Ooh, Asgardian gold. I like it.
And the lines on them as well. So, I mean, maybe he just killed all the Asgardians and stole their metal or whatever. It's not like he hasn't already hurt Eitri, everyone's favorite freaking dwarf.
True that. That's he doesn't draw the line anywhere.
That's what killing you means.
Speaking of killing you, I feel like they might have killed the rest of the feelings in Inside Out 2, man. Did you hear that Amy Poehler is coming back for Inside Out 2, but like more than half the cast of the other feelings in the movie are not returning?
Yep.
What the heck is going on with that?
I saw the numbers and I don't even know if I want to watch the damn movie, to be dead honest with you.
I can't imagine that these numbers, there has to be something we're missing here. So for those of you who don't know, Inside Out 2 was announced that they're moving forward with it at Disney Pixar. D23, this right before the Marvel announcements, they said that Inside Out 2 with Amy Poehler was happening. And then right around the same time, they also said that some of the original cast, including Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling, are not coming back. They refuse to return. And I was really surprised to hear that. And then like within the hour, there was a report coming out saying that it was because of how grossly underpaid they would have been if they did come back for the second movie. So this is from Inside the Magic. It says, according to Puck News, Amy Poehler was offered $5 million plus additional fees and bonuses to return as Joy in Pixar's Inside Out 2. The rest of the main cast, including Hader, Kaling, Phyllis Smith, who played Sadness, and Lewis Black, who played Anger, were allegedly only offered $100,000 each, compared to Poehler's $5 million. Disney reportedly later upped the offer, according to Puck News, but Hader and Kaling both refused. Disney and Pixar refused to comment. There's no official word on Smith and Black, but the two are likely to come back. And I don't know if there was any follow-up after that, but dude, $5 million for the main role.
Yeah.
100,000. This has to be some sort of follow-up to Joy specifically, where the other voices would have had a much smaller role. Like, it's insane to me that names like Bill Hader, Mindy Kaling are being offered such a lowball amount compared to someone who's supposed to be like just a co-star. Like, why do you think, what's the discrepancy here? What are we missing?
Bob Chapek.
Cheapskate? Bob Cheap.
I hate to be that guy, but I can see where it's like, oh, it's going to be focused on all joy. No, it's not. Teenager years are often not full of joy. I don't know if you've ever been a teenager, but it isn't all sunshine, rainbows, and kiss me in the face. It's a lot more of I want to die. I feel like sadness, anger, envy, right? That was who Kaling played, right? Envy?
I think it was Disgust.
disgust.
Yeah.
Envy. I mean, either way.
No, I think it was. I think it was gross.
Yeah, and then fear, right? By
Uh-huh.
hater. All of those are very important, very pertinent. So, and her parents were going to be getting a divorce, I read, is like part of the plot. So there's no way it's just all about joy. I think what it comes down to, and I'm going to be super pissed if I'm right about this, they felt Amy Poehler was the only voice that was irreplaceable and the rest were. Because that is a financial studio decision that I very much see being made in today's environment.
So you think that they made these offers already saying like it's okay if 4 out of 5 of these turn it down, we just need Amy Poehler.
Yeah, because voice actors are aggressively underpaid in this industry. Like, it's ridiculous. If you work from home, you get paid less. If you're not a name, you get paid less. Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling are huge names. I mean, Bill Hader is winning Emmys for his work on Barry over on HBO. He's won Emmys. He's an editor. He films it as the director, and he shoots it exactly how he wants it to be edited together, and it's bang, 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 and you can tell he writes like an editor as well. So it's insane to me that two people who have the names and the followings that they do are being offered that much money for their voice when it's very obvious who their voice. I mean, Bill Hader is one half of BB-8 from Star Wars. You telling me he's only worth $100,000? How dare you, Disney? All right. Oh, that's why I'm not even going to throw the S in there. I think that's so disrespectful. And it is hyper aggressively annoying. Like, I'm very annoyed overall by this. I don't have anything else to say.
It's just
I'm angry.
It's crazy how vastly different those numbers are. I can't even. That's wild.
Yeah, the disrespect, dude. The disrespect really gets under my skin here.
Yeah, that's gross.
You want to know something?
What?
You want to know something else that gets under my skin? Another studio saying some shit that is also just disrespectful, man. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah,
lacking of humanity and heart and love. And that is Bryce Dallas Howard was asked by the studio to lose weight for Jurassic World Dominion. Granted,
doing that?
I got to start out right off the bat. Still haven't seen the damn movie. Somebody bought it on my Vudu account. I'll watch it one day.
Hey, if you have Peacock, they apparently have an extended cut.
Is it only on Peacock?
It is only on Peacock. Yeah. Honestly, it could just be that the deleted scenes are integrated into the actual cut of the film. But yeah, it's marketed as a Peacock exclusive. But anyway, yeah, dude, I didn't know we were still doing this to actresses. I didn't know it was still a thing.
I did. I knew that. Hollywood doesn't want to change. So, and I love it. I mean, I love filmmaking. I love the industry. I love being an actor and being on set. But at the tip top, very much like the tip top of the American government, shit don't change. The American government is doing the same shit since 1970, whatever it was. For over 50 years, it's been doing the same shit. If you go back further, it's been doing the same shit. You go back even further, guess what? Same shit. They're worried about protecting themselves and their financial income and their investments, but they don't actually always give a damn about the rest of it, right? I think it's really, the idea of trickle-down economics, which I've been hearing about since I was a child, does not account for the fact that people are going to skim off the top, and at the very bottom, you still get screwed over. I mean, Game of Thrones will be the one, like, that's a great example of what trickle-down economics is really like. But in this case, I just think it's incredibly disrespectful to be, you know, like, oh, people are only going to come see this movie if you specifically lose weight. Right. What does that have to do? Why can't people be themselves?
I don't understand what part of this movie required her to be less weight than what she is. I don't get it.
Let me get to my favorite part of this whole information.
All right, go for it.
Like she dropped some quotes, right?
I'm here for it.
She said, "I've been asked to not use my natural body in cinema. On the third movie, it was actually because there were so many women cast. It was something that Colin felt very strongly about in terms of protecting me because the conversation came up again. We need Bryce to lose weight. We need to ask Bryce to lose weight, excuse me. Colin was like, there are lots of different kinds of women on this planet, and there are lots of different kinds of women in our film. She continued to say that she got to do so many stunts that wouldn't have been possible if she'd been dieting. She was at her strongest, essentially. And she's really thrilled that she got to do all of that action and got to do it with her body because she was at max strength. And she hoped it's just another indication of what's possible. So let's stop there. If she diets, she can't do her own stunts, essentially, because she's not going to be strong enough. And she's really got to cut down. And
right.
I do not have to do that as me. Like, I basically wake up and I weigh the same exact amount as I do all the time. Whoopee tinkle. I work out and I don't exactly gain. Yeah, whoopee tinkle. Shout out Nana, RIP. I don't do a lot of weightlifting anymore because, well, fuck, man. I spent like 10 years doing it for football and my spine hurts. So give me a break. I do yoga. I do conscious movement stuff. I do jiu-jitsu, capoeira, stuff like that. Animal movements. Like when I want to lift, I'm mostly doing rehab stuff to build the muscles around my damaged joints because football's a hell of a drug. And boy, does it leave your body broken after 9 years of beating the shit out of people with your face. So, you know, I don't have to do as much to be in the shape that I'm in now. Not everybody's as lucky as me. You might not be as lucky as me. I have family members who, if you put me next to them, you'd never know we're in the same physical genome. We have the same genetics because we look so different. Every single person is different, and I think they should be loved for who the fuck they are, not what they look like. If she's a great actress, excuse me, if she's a great actor, who the fuck cares what she looks like? That's my opinion. However, it's Hollywood. And they're gonna do specific things that they want. And you know what? You have the power to do that. That's your money. Who am I to tell you you're wrong? I very much disagree with it, though. And
I can't imagine people saw trailers for this and went, I'm not seeing that because she's not skinny enough. That's just, I don't think that's happening. And for the studio to demand that, it just feels like they just want that weird sense of power over these actors still. I don't understand any other reason for it other than just to have that extra control over them because
I don't know.
Maybe it's Bryce Dallas Howard. She sells seats. Like that's not a name that's messed with, you know? I mean, she's directing quality material now. She's doing The Mandalorian. She did Black Mirror. She did one of my favorite episodes of Black Mirror. She is an interesting and intriguing and very talented person in the industry, and her name is very well respected. I'm very surprised that this happened at all, but especially that it happened to her.
Yeah, I wish I could say I was surprised, but the pattern of behavior will not change unless we notice it change. And this is one of those instances where we didn't know it was happening, but now that it's been brought up, it's like, damn it. I had hope, and now I'm a little bit let down, but I have hope that we'll continue to strive forward to evolve as human beings, as an industry, as an entire human race to come together and support each other instead of tearing each other down. Which kind of leads on to the next thing, because she goes on to say that, there was a report that Chris Pratt was paid like $10 million for Fallen Kingdom, and she was reported to have made $8 million for Fallen Kingdom. However, she said that she was paid so much less due to the 3-picture deal signed in 2014. She then goes on to say that, quote, Chris and I have discussed it, and whenever there was an opportunity to move the needle on stuff that hadn't been already negotiated, like a game or a ride, he literally told me, you guys don't even have to do anything. I'm going to do all the negotiating. We're going to be paid the same, and you don't have to think about this price. That is supporting your fellow human being. Like, I'm not even going to bring it down to acting at this point. It's supporting your fellow human being and seeing that everybody is treated for the time. They've probably put in the same amount of time in this industry just to get to the point that they're at. And it's a damn shame that, I'm saying this as a dude, it's a damn shame that dudes get paid more just because they're fucking dudes. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't line up. The math does not compute. Error. They've broken my robot brain. I can't figure out. I can figure that out less than I can figure out emotions. Like, I genuinely feel like my whole life I was told not to deal with my emotions, and now I'm an actor, so I get to play around with my emotions all the time, which is fantastic, but it doesn't mean I always understand them. Sometimes I'm like, I can't put a word, I can't describe what I'm feeling, because what I'm feeling is so complex. It's like 20 emotions thrown in together. that is easier to figure out than where this mindset comes from. And lady in the back, look at her. She's like, he's still going on. He's still
genuinely
complaining.
interested in this portion of the time.
Yeah,
show,
she
but,
wants to be treated like a human being too.
Yeah, no, she's fully in on it now. So, yeah, no, do you have anything else to say about Bryce Dallas Howard? Because I was pretty sad to hear this, but I mean, she even mentioned this in the interview. Like, this isn't the first time she's dealt with this, and anytime she does catch flack for something, it's almost always undeserved, but she does handle it very, very well. And I think she and Chris Pratt share that trait as they kind of know how to deflect this kind of stuff and use it to kind of help build their career. Yeah.
And obviously I'm an emotional guy, so I'm going to be very upset when shit like this happens every time.
Yeah.
JRB, we're going to take a break. We're going to take, 90 seconds. So, you and lady, hurry up back there with your cuddle session. And when we come back on the other side, we're going to talk She-Hulk episode 6. And our guest is going to join us straight from the gym, getting swole, making us look really out of shape. See you on the other side.
Join author Gary Zeiger for an animatic short film based on his Breakaway Stingray novel series. Watch this animatic short based on the novel Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever at stingrayseries.com. In Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever, Captain Epsilon is putting the band back together to rescue his protege's little sister from the evil conglomerate, while keeping his state-of-the-art warship, Stingray, out of their hands. Watch as the adventure unfolds in the groundbreaking animatic short at stingrayseries.com. Then, join the crew of Stingray with the next novel in the series, Stingray Prophecy, where Captain Epsilon and Dr. Zubre are pivotal players in an ancient prophecy. Can they reunite the people of two worlds before they destroy each other? To learn more, visit stingrayseries.com. Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Shout out Famous Faces and Funnies. Quite literally the largest comic book shop I've ever been in. It's amazing. It's where I got a lot of my comics that are sitting in storage because it'd be like that sometimes. But without further ado, we're going to hop right on into She-Hulk episode 6, Just Jen, and we are joined by Agents of Fandom's own social media content coordinator, film queen herself, Jade Rafallo.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
That was quite the introduction. Thank you for that.
Of course. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. Just worked a full day, went to the gym very briefly, and now I'm here with you guys. So thanks for having me.
Of
Awesome.
course.
Awesome. Love the camera quality. Very, very crisp,
Is
very
it?
clean. We're ready to go.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, I just use an iPad and my AirPods, and that's it.
Oh, sweet. Very simple setup. All right.
JRB,
Yeah.
we got to do better, apparently. Just
Yeah,
using
we do. We have to up our game. Yeah. You hear that? Okay. Lady's
Lady-
already out of it again.
Lady's like, we're not talking about Bryce
No,
Dallas
yeah, she
Howard.
doesn't
I don't
listen to
care.
the production meetings. She only goes up when the camera's on.
She's precious.
Yeah, before we hop in to She-Hulk, we just got to say happy birthday, Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
It's Libra season. Let's go. I always knew I loved her, and it's because she's a Libra, obviously.
Today's episode was like the perfect little celebration for her. She had that little like dance break during the episode, and it was like I didn't even know it was her birthday at that point, but that made me love her so much more. She's such a precious character, and I'm really enjoying how they're exploring her personal life.
Yeah, so we'll go around the horn really quick. Jade, what are your thoughts and feelings on episode 6 without too many spoilers?
Yeah, no, I love this episode. Kind of like what everyone's been saying. I feel, well, I shouldn't say everyone, but everyone who ends up liking the show has just said that she's just such a relatable character. And that's like my favorite thing about her is just how grounded she feels, even though she is a superhero and a superhuman. She's very real, and she goes through a lot of real life stuff that not only women go through, but everyone goes through at some point. So I love this whole episode.
I'll say there's one thing I really hated, and we'll get to it as soon as we jump into like the plot of it all. JRB, where do you land?
This episode, I love how they open it. They let you know right away, like, hey, this episode's not going to be one of the more important ones. I kind of have a feeling it will be for her emotional development, but overall, yeah, it definitely was a more lackluster episode. Still had the beats that I was looking for, but overall, this week was kind of a break in a sense, you know. But it was fun. And Thomas told me to treat this as a Saturday morning cartoon, and ever since I started doing that, it's been the perfect time because that's exactly what it's supposed to be and nothing more. And this episode was just more of that.
I'm glad you're finally listening to me. Now you just got to watch House of the Dragon, bud. You're so close.
Baby
You're
steps.
so close.
Baby steps.
So close to glory. I love this episode. I am not the biggest wedding fan, so her immediate reaction to it all was like, we're the same. We're the same person.
Oh wait, so you had two weddings this week then, because you had the new green wedding and you had a She-Hulk wedding too, which is also green. Two green weddings technically.
Two green weddings. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man, good looks. I didn't even think about that.
So much.
And I'm wearing
green.
green.
So much wedding.
Shit. I'm ready. I'm ready for the wedding week of green. Man.
I'm looking at Lady.
So which wedding was more eventful then?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, that is a good question. It depends on. I mean, which
Were
was
there
more
any
eventful? It was
veneers
some
lost?
head bashing.
Head bashing. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I mean, there was veneers.
Veneers, eyes, cheekbones, skull. The brains came out. The rats ate it. Like,
wow.
I think that was
all right.
They lost a little more than just veneers.
Sounds like House of the Dragon might have the edge on this one.
Yeah,
it was great. It was a great episode.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah. Man, I tried telling him earlier, and it was just like it was too much. He goes, "What?"
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm so confused how that.
We're this close to getting them. We're just gonna hook them one more time. Man. But so this episode starts off, and it's basically like Jin opening a box, and the first thing it does is just spew glitter everywhere. And I hated Lulu from that moment forward.
Yeah. Because
I don't know if anybody else crafts out there, but glitter is craft herpes. You can't get it off you. It never leaves you. It gets in your food 3 days later because you go, oh look, there's still glitter on my hand. And I mean, first of all, have respect for the environment, Lulu. Come on, that's not biodegradable glitter and sparkles you got going on. And then it explodes and just falling out. Come on,
I love that.
Get it
I love how Jen was like suspicious of it. Like she thought like maybe it was from Titania, you know?
Well, I mean, it looked Titania-ish, you know what I'm saying? It looked like a I don't know, a Trojan horse, if you will, just ready to get her there. But I think we had the best fourth wall break yet. It tells us immediately we're not getting Daredevil this episode, and it accurately describes wedding as always being at an inconvenient time. Plus, my personal favorite thing about it is we get to see the reality and how it continues around the fourth wall break. And it looks as if she's literally in her own head. And this, I think, was your headcanon, JRB. Are we her other personality?
Yeah, no, I was reading about that somewhere. Someone had brought up the possibility that the alter ego that she has, the reason she doesn't switch back and forth is because it's always there and it's us. And that fourth wall breaking is her talking to that other personality. So like the more we see her break that fourth wall, the more it does make us feel like we're along for the ride, like we're actually a part of this experience. It'd be cool if they ended up going that way. But yeah, it definitely felt like we were along for the ride there.
What do you think, Jade? How do you fall on this headcanon?
I haven't really even heard that. I think I might have seen a couple people like talk about it. I am along for the ride. I will do anything she asks me. She tells me. I just adore her so much. I would be honored to be her alter ego.
I would kill for you. You're just like her with Megan Thee Stallion. Oh my God.
I would kill for her.
She is. She has to be protected at all costs.
Definitely.
She's too good to be true almost. They've done a really good job with her character.
She has the best teeth in the game.
Great teeth.
Yeah, I agree.
Really good smile.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's like a
Yeah.
cat like her teeth have like I don't know. Anyways, we're getting
Not
off
veneers.
of teeth.
Not
Not veneers.
Not
The
veneers.
reals.
Right.
Let's jump to the divorce case of it all because there's not really much to go on other than he's the worst, Mr. Immortal.
Yeah,
AKA
Mr.
Craig,
Immortal.
aka Roger, aka Dickhead. I guess I don't know. We didn't get his other alter egos, but I'm assuming that's one of them. To avoid confrontation, he kinda kills himself. And
Kind of dies.
he kind of dies, just kind of dies. So you die. And it's demonstrated by Mallory and Nikki just really giving him shit to the point that he just runs and jumps out of the window. Which, I mean, sure. I don't get it. Sure, fine.
One way to do it.
That's one way to do it. Hey. And then, there's some great questions thrown out by Mallory. Like, is there a life insurance policy?
Right.
Did the police report get filled out? Like, there's a lot of logistics here that need to be legally found out. And then it ends up settling because Nikki gets every spouse exactly what they want because she and Mallory are like, we're going to get you out of this, but it's going to make you pay. And it's like, why are you smiling? Because it's fun. And they spin around and they just go to town. Really, I think there's 2 scenes with Mr. Immortal?
It's like 2 or 3. Yeah, I think it might be 3 total.
Yeah.
What did you think of Mr. Immortal and divorce being hard, Jade?
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't even know who that was as a character. I will be honest. I'm not like as familiar with the comics as compared to a lot of other people. I'm just, again, here along for the ride. And I just thought it was so hilarious because I can relate to him in the sense that, like, sometimes when I talk to people, I just want to like bash my head into the wall. But at the same time, like, he's obviously an asshole and takes advantage of these women and then gets bored and leaves and kind of dies. I just thought it was a really funny side plot. And I'm really glad that we got a Nikki and Mallory relationship started. I think that's a really funny dynamic because Mallory's a little bit more like matured and has her life together. She's married, got kids, and Nikki's more just this like fun, free soul that's like best friends with Jen. So I think that's a really cool dynamic that they have.
I love Nikki in this one. Nikki was hilarious. The way she was kind of like bargaining with each of the ex-wives and saying like, and you get 15 minutes of eye contact, and she's like all like overjoyed about it, and like he's like 15 seems a bit much. She goes, now you get 20. That was the perfect depiction of like how much of a dick this guy is, And David Nestor, buddy, in the chat saying these filler cases are just painful to watch. Mr. Immortal was by far the worst. I will say that these are getting a little bit cringy, but it's also like it's fun in a way because if you were to have a real life Mr. Immortal, that's probably more in line with what would actually happen than a superhero, like the way he's depicted in the comics isn't this, but like the thing I love about She-Hulk is it's so meta, but it's like it's such a real world take on like how the MCU would actually play out in real life, like all these cases have been believable, like these guys were actually committing these crimes because they had these powers that they could take advantage of other people. So yeah, it is cringy, but it's the perspective of it is fun. I really enjoy that.
It's literally like if Judge Judy was in the MCU, like that type of like,
right. Oh my God,
crappy reality TV cases meets
exactly.
the MCU. I think it's perfect, but it's awesome. I think it's great. It's a great break from just every, our real lives and also I think the whole MCU as a whole. I think.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love the Judge Judy comp because I'm like, I don't know how to describe these. These are just hilarious and dumb. And you say Judge Judy, and I go, yeah, it's hilarious and dumb. It's Judge Judy. Right. Like the Night Elf. People are like, oh, I don't get it. And I'm like, you clearly never watched Judge Judy just for the laughing factors.
Right.
Well, what happened was like I took my dog out and the dog bit my neighbor. I don't know why I'm being sued. Fine, sure. Was it on his property? Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
man,
no, it's a lot of
on the
that.
property. Like, there's a lot going on.
Every time the defendant is kind of just like, like sorry.
Yeah.
Like they're just like very oblivious about it, and that's very much Judge Judy.
Mhm.
And I was struggling all day long to figure out this character, or this actor, and it came to me earlier while I was perusing IMDb that it's actually the same exact actor who played the Twi'lek in Book of Boba Fett. That is the liaison for the mayor, and he's very much the exact same character.
Oh,
Same voice, the
wow.
sneevely little. A case could be made for 15.
Excuse me. Oh my God, you're right. That is him.
It's him. And once I saw that, I was like, no wonder I kind of like that idiot. He's the same character, like one for one,
Man,
same dude.
I couldn't put my finger on it. That's great call out. Oh, he was a great, probably one of the most enjoyable parts of Book of Boba Fett, to be honest.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I mean, I love the Book of Boba Fett because I'm Star Wars all the way. But every time he was on screen, I was like, I want him to get hit really hard in or about the face. And that's how you know you're a good character. If all of a sudden I'm just like, I just want you to be punched. Like, I don't know what it is about your face, but I just want to punch it.
Like Lulu.
Like
oh
Lulu.
my God.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jade, what did you think of Lulu? Overall thoughts on Lulu? Does she pass the vibe check?
No.
No, of course not. What did you think of Lulu?
The first time we see her on screen, when she tells Jen, "Oh, I don't want you to be hulking out. Like, this is my big day." Like, I messaged my friends and I said, I want to throat punch Lulu. I don't like her. And I think also because I'm, of course, biased towards Jen. I want Jen to be happy and, feel confident in herself. But just in general, Lulu, no thank you. Not anyone I'd ever want to hang out with. Sorry.
I don't blame you. I definitely can't say I blame you. I get it. It's your wedding. But
yeah.
Oh man, I wanted to throat punch her.
I hated. I don't know how to say this in a nice way. It's not the actress; it's the character. I hated her voice.
The character,
right? No, that's definitely not her real voice. But like,
oh my God, Jen! Like, it's like
right? Yeah, it's like Titania. It's obnoxious.
Oh God, it's the exact same voice.
So petty.
Yeah,
So
really petty and condescending, and like, just I hate it. Can't stand it. And then when Titania showed up, oh God, Thomas, I know you want to talk about Titania and Jen fighting at the wedding.
Yeah, we can build to that really quick because there's some other little things. Why was Jen invited to the wedding party if she's just going to be shit on the whole time? Why is she? Although I'm about to contradict myself, why is she put with a kind of a literal dying dog who's also super adorable? Jonathan, look at his little suit and his tongue hanging out. I'm gonna get back on track. That's so disrespectful to Jen. Why was she given Jonathan again, the cute little fucking
especially if they had an odd number of bridesmaids? Like, you're already putting him with the dog.
I don't get it. I feel like somebody pulled some strings and that string puller was Titania.
Wow. Could you imagine Titania's pulling the strings to get you invited to your own family wedding? Or I guess they were friends from high school,
family
right?
friends, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Friends. Gotcha. So, okay, at least it wasn't family, but her brother was the DJ.
Right.
Her cousin, Ched.
Oh, yeah,
cousin. They honestly,
I
keep thinking they're siblings because the way they interact, they just seem like brother-sister, you know?
Yeah, I get. I guess. I don't know. I don't interact that way with my sister. My cousins, on the other hand, yeah, I would totally interact in that way. Yeah, I just didn't understand why she was invited at all, and I'm still confused by it. But hey, it works out for everybody.
That dress, though,
the polka dot dress or the pink dress?
Oh yeah, the polka dot. Oh, the pink dress was a travesty.
Atrocious.
Yeah, that was horrible in both forms. Like that just looked bad.
It looked better on She-Hulk because the contrast of the skin was fantastic.
The contrast was nice, but it still looked like it was literally out of a Shrek movie.
I definitely thought of Power Rangers when she was wearing pink and the green together. I was like, hey, Kim and Tommy forever.
The dress that she had, I gotta say, the
polka dot.
Yeah, the blue polka dot dress. I gotta say, it was a little underwhelming seeing the technology that adapts to both her forms. It kind of just seemed like it was a oversized dress, so it would fit.
That's one thing that I'm not sure. I don't think that's the dress that was made. Remember how I was talking last week that, oh, she's going to get that fancy dress? Well, like she does the thing like, haha, look at me.
Yeah.
I went back and watched all the trailers and I thought she was wearing that shiny, sparkly silver one at that moment. But it's not. It's when she goes to the red carpet premiere of something.
Oh, see, I thought she took it out of the little coat hanger thing or the suit thing. Okay. I thought that was from the designer. Okay, so that was just a random dress.
That's my assumption because again, it fit real weird. Like it
okay.
fit basically like all of her other clothes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was so thrown off. I thought she took it out of that like
garment bag.
It's called garment bag. Thank you. I don't know why I was blanking on that, but it looked like she pulled it out of there, so I must have been mistaken. But yeah, we still haven't seen the sparkly dress either, so there's got to be something else coming up.
There's a big red carpet premiere of something which gonna be super meta.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to DJ Incredible Hulk. I thought I was gonna be really upset and mad that he was there, and then I'm like, all right, Ched, like this is pretty funny. All right, okay. And it really brings to light that joke from Bruce Banner in episode 1, which was episode 8, and it's like, yeah, it's like you're not the only genius in the family. Yeah, there's also Ched.
Yeah, right, like, exactly.
Yeah. And now he's just mooching off of the Hulk name. He mooched off the She-Hulk name last week. What a hustler. And I don't know if I mean that in a good way or a bad way, but he's doing things, props to him. What do you think about Ched? This is the only moment we're ever going to talk about Ched again, I think. So what do you think, Jade?
I think he's hilarious. I think that's just family. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily always know if what they're doing is good, like taking advantage of her name and everything, but I think at the end of the day that's family and they love you, they're looking out for you. There's like the one part where she's doing that little dance montage and he's doing the same dance moves in the background. Like they love each other obviously, and he's looking out for her. So I like Ched. I think he's hilarious. And also, really quick shout out, one of my friends said that he saw a theory that Ched might become Red Hulk at some point. I don't know if you guys have seen that at all. He didn't say anything other than that. And I was just like, that would be very interesting.
Thunderbolt Ross isn't really an option anymore, so that's not a bad idea.
R.I.P.
Yes, R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.s.
Son of a bitch. Does that mean we're going to get a long hair Hulk?
Dude,
long hair representation.
He could be kind of a mix between like Red Hulk and like Amadeus Cho, where he's got more of like a chill vibe to him.
Or Scott. Oh yeah, he'd definitely be more Amadeus Cho energy.
Yeah,
but he'd have that. Oh man, that's taking 3 characters and mashing them together. You've got
they're good at
Scar's hair with Red Hulk.
I like this.
And then you got Amadeus Cho's vibes. Oh, the Incredible.
He would be a great
Hulk.
addition to the
Incredible Red Hulk.
Incredible Red Hulk.
The Incredible.
There you go.
He'll just put like Flamin' Hot on his name or something. It'll be like a rebrand.
he's just like Talkies. Yes. That's it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Do all you do is talk? No, I talk ease. He'd be so cringe. Let's talk about Jin and Josh before we jump to Titania and Jin, because that's obviously like the peak of this episode. He likes her for who she is, and it's about fucking time, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he definitely seems super sus. I got it.
Okay.
I'm not buying it.
Oh shit, okay.
No, this is definitely the guy that is swooping in and supposed to seem like the knight in shining armor, and really he's going to be like Prince Charming from the Shrek movies, and he's going to have an evil fairy godmother or something like that. I don't know, but like I'm not getting good vibes from him. Jade, does this guy pass the vibe check?
On face value, yes, but I totally see what you're saying.
Okay.
Because I feel like in my personal experience, I know many guys who pass the vibe check, face value.
He knows how to pass the vibe check.
Are terrible afterward, like when you get to know him. So
he's got good game.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying for sure.
Thomas,
good game. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm just an idiot, and he passed my vibe check.
Hopeless romantic.
Yeah, I'm
Thomas
just
was
hopeful.
swept up in those striking eyes.
I
He is
mean,
very cute.
He's a good-looking guy. Yeah,
he's got a good face. His parents made a good face.
Yeah.
You
Good
know?
name.
good-looking
Yeah.
dude. I love
Yeah,
the flies.
Joshua Johnson.
Joshinson.
Maybe honestly, it might be just because I'm super socially awkward, and I also have no clue how to approach a stranger and begin a conversation in real life. So maybe that's why I was like, hey, that's me. I'm represented by energy. I'm just super fucking weird and don't know how to converse in public. It's like, oh, do you watch Marvel? No. Star Wars? No. Do you like movies? No, I'm kind of more into music. I gotta walk away because I don't know how to talk about music. I'm sorry. I love you. Bye.
That's fair.
But they share fries, right? And which is
that
the
was
most
after
romantic.
she puked, right? That was like towards the end of it.
After she puked and after she won the battle with Titania, who showed up to the wedding, and it's so fake. I do want to die. Like it kills me.
Oh man, I was so feeling Jen's frustration in that scene. My fists were clenched.
Yeah,
Dinkelberg.
I will say Jamila is so good with the Robert Downey Jr. level good with the expression she makes, because they did that close up on her face and kind of rose the music a little bit, and she was like looking at her smiling, but you could see in her eyes it was that fake ass grin.
Yeah.
And just for a second, her like lips snarled a little bit, and you could tell like she was being a bitch about it. But like, oh, I love how well she acted that, because that's exactly how it would play out in real life. You can see through that fakeness. Man, Jamil said that this character would be annoying. I knew she would be, but man, this episode was rough.
Have you seen The Good Place?
No, I still haven't seen it.
That moment there was the closest thing to her character in The Good Place that we've gotten so far. It's just that one little look. It's like, I'm outsmarting you, idiot.
Oh.
And it's like, okay. And then she goes back to being Titania. I'm like, oh, there it is. There's little peaks of it. And then she obviously reveals herself to only be there to fight. I mean, she punches drunk, puking Jin in the face. And it's like,
yes,
I knew it.
Punch.
Yeah, it's like, I knew it. Yeah, of course. I told you this wasn't over, loser. I'm like, Jesus Christ. She punches her in the face. I was very surprised with the very cordial conversation, and Titania like really showing her colors. Like, I only care about what the face value of things are. Like,
women talk it out, dude. The women, they let you know why they're mad. Yeah.
women
No,
talk
that's
about
one thing I really like about this is it's very realistic how.
Thank you, Jade. That was my thought.
No, I'm not joking. Like the way they're handling
Girls
confrontation.
don't talk it out.
Okay, maybe I have a different experience on that front, but I really like, especially in this episode specifically, it was Mr. Immortal that couldn't handle confrontation, but all the women in the episode had no problem with it.
Fair, but you notice that Mr. Immortal's confrontation is also with women.
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic, two dudes going at it and being men and fighting it out or whatever, but a girl and a guy confrontation is even more different than a girl and a girl having a confrontation, in my experience, at least.
Do you think we saw like both ends of that in this episode, because we saw the fakeness they had with each other and we saw the realness later on?
Easy, yeah, because like in front, at least again in my experience, in front of other people, you might be a little bit faker, put on a brave face and try to like fake it till you make it. But when you're in private and you actually can have a serious conversation, I would say it's a little bit more confrontational and, upfront with each other. But I just love how they started, like they just fought, because that's just
right.
hilarious. So,
yeah, just
and
boiled
like,
over.
She-Hulk is She-Hulk and Titania is like a superhuman. And so they're like duking it out like two big ass dudes would.
Yeah, literally. They just resorted to violence.
Yeah, it's great. Wedding fight.
We all wanted.
It's electric.
Yeah, perfect background music for that fight too.
That was fantastic. Didn't we get another good dope fight sequence to music this season? Or am I thinking of a whole different show. I'm probably thinking of a different show.
I don't know. You might be thinking of another show.
I don't know. I'll give it 3 seconds.
Guess we'll have
2,
to get back to that.
1. Anyways, moving on. I guess not. It didn't
Might have
pop
been The
back up.
Boys.
Yes, sir. It was. Should have had a V8. We do this show so much, JRB. I can't. They all blend together.
They do blend together. Yeah. We have a very specific taste.
Shocking development. I love how the fight actually ends when Titania steps on ice and just
face
plants. I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, she's gonna leap, get punched again, and then she just face plants, and I go, unexpected.
That was so anticlimactic. It was great.
It was awesome.
And then I love how she steals the cake though.
Yeah.
And her teeth are like hanging out of her mouth. It's all like sideways.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how's she gonna eat that? She's gonna have to like blend it up.
Lots of pain meds and
lots
then
of pain meds. Power through, girl.
Yeah.
She's gonna use that She-Hulk beauty toxin and just like swish it around her mouth and it'll heal,
Oh,
right?
That snake oil.
She's literally selling snake oil. But shout out Lulu, drunk Lulu at least.
Yeah,
drunk
hammered. All of a sudden, didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, She-Hulk's at my wedding. Huge boobas, my favorite thing is, I don't know if you caught this, when she's walking out, she's like, I love this photo booth. The guy's super hot.
I know. And I was just like, yeah, that seems pretty typical.
It sounds like
I'm not surprised.
TLM total Lulu move.
She said the guy in the photo booth's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like
did you see like during the post or during the credits, they were doing the art sequence and there's a little photo booth like picture printout of her and a guy in a photo booth. Do you know who it is? It's Ched. And the last, there's 4 pictures, and the last picture is Ched kissing her, like full blown kissing her, like lip action.
Okay, Ched.
He's the dude in the photo booth.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god, I did not catch that line. Wow.
The Inchedible Hulk.
Oh my god.
Sorry, DJ Inchedible Hulk.
DJ Inchedible.
My bad. Anything else we want to talk about, like Jin and the wedding situation before we jump to Intelligentsia?
Wedding.
I think we covered it.
The wedding was just so fun.
It was just hilarious.
I can't get over how fun it was to just see Jen just be like, what else am I going to do for 4 hours, and just start dancing the night away. Like it was so fun to once again see her pretty much on her own and find her way out of it, you know, because she didn't have Nikki or anyone to fall back on really. So it was kind of a cool test.
Is that the first time so far this season?
Is
that I think that's the first time this
other
season
than getting mugged in an alley. I think that might be one of the first instances where she's been like on her own. So yeah.
Well, the dates that she went on.
And the the dating. That's a very different adventure she went on. You're right. Yeah. So yeah, this is another like test, I guess, testing her social ability, or
and I think it's interesting that this is the first time she actually wanted to be She-Hulk, like out in public, and she was forced to be Jen again. And she obviously used to, like, from the last couple episodes, we saw that she didn't want anything to do with She-Hulk. She wanted to just be a normal lawyer, go on normal dates as Jen. And the one time she's like, oh, I think I'm going to look great. I'm going to look amazing. She gets shut down. And it's just like, she can't win.
She can never get what she wants. Every episode she wants to be Jen, she can't be. And the same for She-Hulk. It's crazy.
Shulky.
I love that, because that's a comic book nickname. Cute. I'm so happy it made its way to live action, because I've been using it in my articles, and I want it to catch on.
Well, we're there now, man. We're gonna do it. Inside the Mr. Immortal divorce sequence, they find out how the wives and the one ex-husband who shout out the jazz funeral.
I like your style.
Very chic.
Very chic. They find out about him still being alive because of a site called Intelligentsia. You mean the site about man babies? Yeah, angry man babies. Yes, exactly. And we find out it's basically exactly what you think it is. It is bullshit.
It's Twitter.
Oh my God, it's Twitter.
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody tweet today and like, oh my God, the biggest MCU villain or the big bad of the MCU of She-Hulk is incels. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what we should call it.
It's like 4chan. Yeah.
Fucking 4chan.
That's what someone said. I think they thought it was.
It literally
4chan.
is like, and we know the leader's coming back, and we're seeing that this might be his in. Dude,
ooh, yeah.
I think we actually got a good development on that this week.
Yeah.
Before we did, there's a lot of blue going on in that sequence. You know what I'm saying? But before we get to that, I got weird vibes from Mallory Book when she's talking to
She's hiding something.
Nikki about that.
Something.
She's like, no, don't tell her about this, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
Do you think Mallory Book is involved with intelligentsia or something in it?
I think she could be. There's a chance. There's always a chance for
There's always
anything.
a chance, yeah.
Especially
I think
in
she's a
She-Hulk.
Skrull.
That's what I was gonna say too. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
If I doubt anyone at this point, Skrull.
Yep, exactly.
I love it.
It's got to be
I
one of
love
them,
it.
you know.
We got the first teaser trailer for it, so
Right.
everyone's a scroll.
It's out there now. You know, we should start looking for it for real.
Everyone's a scroll.
Yeah.
DODC scrolls. All of
Scrolls.
them.
All of them. Every single
I
one
just
of them.
don't want Pug to be a scroll. I want Pug to stay Pug.
Oh,
We love
man.
Pug, and we didn't get him
That's
this episode. I missed.
I know. I
him.
missed Pug. Yeah. No, I really did like that we had Nikki and Mallory together, but Pug,
Mhm.
I miss him already.
Mhm.
Man, Pug, anyone with Nikki is just a great duo.
Absolutely. Okay. So I was Googling to see if Samuel Stearns has a wife at any point, and so far I cannot find it. However, Hulk King off of Intelligentsia asks if next phase is ready to go. And then we see a guy wearing it. Technically, I know for a fact they're probably purple gloves, but his shirt was blue and the gloves match. And I know they use blue gloves in the medical field because I have friends there and they send me snaps all the time. It's Mr. Blue. It's the leader. Confirmed. Asterisk. Not really. I'm just confirming it out of my head.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
It's like
thank you.
this is also the same episode where they revealed the bad guys are using a fucking chat board to communicate, just like Mr. Blue did the first time we met him.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that Jen also very subtly called Bruce during the wedding and said, "Where are you? I've been trying to reach you for months or days or weeks or whatever," and then just brushed over that like it was nothing. So like,
Yeah.
there's some serious developments happening in the background.
Jade.
Yes.
I'm
scared.
I was so deep. I was like, oh, I forgot about the Bruce angle. Like now I'm trying to connect more dots. How do you feel? Do you feel like this is a strong sign of getting leader back in this situation?
I definitely think it is, and I obviously would make sense with Incredible Hulk, She-Hulk, obviously. I just don't know how. I think it would be kind of silly to introduce him now and then not see him again until Captain America: New World Order. I think it would be. I don't know, because it's confirmed he's going to be the villain in that, and I'm like, well, we're still way back here in She-Hulk, so kind of what are we doing here? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent to it. I think it would be cool, but the fact that D23 announced it a couple weekends ago that we already are getting him, it kind of just like, okay, yeah, we'll get him at some point. So
interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, JRB? Have you said everything you
I don't know. I think when it comes to the leader, I think it seems like a really obvious choice at this point, but at the same time, it is weird that we haven't seen him yet, you know? And it kind of makes me think that it's going to be someone a little more familiar, just because they're doing that weird Disney Plus thing again where they don't reveal the villain till like the last couple episodes. And I don't know. When it comes to a villain from The Incredible Hulk, I know a lot of people have gone back and watched this movie now, but that is still a lesser known MCU villain. So it'll be cool, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone a little more familiar. Someone that I've seen jumping around in different conversations is actually Red Skull, because we haven't seen him in a few years, and we kind of just left him hanging after Avengers Infinity War. It would be kind of cool if he was back on Earth it does seem a little beneath what he's been doing since he went to Vormir, but he's still out there somewhere. So it might be someone we're a little more familiar with. I don't know. Thomas, do you think now is a good time to introduce the leader? Or, like, is there another project that could carry him over to Captain America New World Order? Or do you think if he's introduced here, that's what it's going to be until we see him in another movie?
That's a good question. Honestly, I think he could show up in Quantumania. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Oh, well, MODOK.
MODOK.
Yeah.
So that's a connection. That's true. That's very true.
That's a good point. He's also part of this is it pronounced intelligentsia?
Yes.
I want to say it like in Spanish.
So do I. Like, it just seems like it's not right. Exactly. So okay, but yeah, so we'll call it intelligentsia, I guess. But MODOK's part of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so is like Dr. Doom. Like, there's some big names.
Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister, right? Yeah.
I'm not gonna call him Gorilla Grodd, but MCU Marvel's Gorilla Grodd.
Marvel's Gorilla Grodd. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no. So it wouldn't be a total shock if MODOK's already started building that team, and the leader could be one of them. He's been around the longest, really, out of all the living villains, at least, right?
Yeah. Yes,
not chronologically, because then we get into like the Eternals and stuff. But like in terms of how long the MCU's been around, the leader hasn't been used in a long time. They already brought Abomination back, so it's probably his turn.
It is. I mean, his whole screen in this was blue, like the blue. It was all blue, very hinting like, oh, it's Mr. Blue. Blue lighting, blue gloves, blue shirt, and he's the leader. He created Intelligentsia in the comics. And we've yet to get a Masters of Evil. Perhaps this is how we get around the Masters of Evil. Because oh man, I can't believe I'm about to say this shit. Give me 10 seconds. Okay. So from this point forward, we're going to build. We're right at the end of phase 4. As we build to phase 5, the Thunderbolts have to go against somebody. I've got this weird feeling that we might be building towards the Thunderbolts going up against a bunch of bad dudes, because all the superheroes have horrible PR. We've got Intelligentsia here trying to smear. It's a smear campaign. I mean, it's politics, right? It's not like everybody on the internet doesn't hate somebody. So I feel like
but
that's
that
where
could
they're
still
building.
influence the Sokovia Accords, though.
Exactly. They have said we're going to learn more about the Sokovia Accords. We only got 3 episodes left to learn about that. We've got a Daredevil episode, which I feel like is when we're going to learn about it. And then we've also got whatever happens when Hulk comes back and he and Abomination hang out. I think that whatever happens here, and I get this feeling that maybe whether we find out Samuel Stearns is alive and is doing his thing is almost a given to me. Whether or not it's like directly it's the leader, or it's like, oh, Mr. Blue, like one final little Easter egg.
You just think that's a natural progression for this.
It is the most natural. As soon as somebody wanted to get Hulk blood, Samuel Stearns. It's been since 2008. He's been wanting to do this.
Is it weird though that he popped up as soon as She-Hulk popped up when we haven't heard from him in like 15 years though?
Not at all. Maybe he's already tried his way with Bruce. Yeah. I mean, there's a new Hulk. Well, I want that. He might already know that Hulk was injured and now he's healed. Oh, and all of a sudden at the same exact time as She-Hulk pops out, oh, they must have healed his blood in the same way that Bruce's blood healed me and turned me into the man and leader that I am. So he naturally goes after that because he wants to create more gamma beings and he wants to evolve everything all at the same time. We've already met Doc Samson in the form of Ty Burrell. Shout out Ty Burrell, man. I totally forgot he was in the I pointed out the other day. He could be Doc Samson. And if I'm not mistaken, in the MCU, Claw has already been a part of the Intelligentsia.
Yeah. There was in Avengers Age of Ultron that showed that he was a former member.
Yes.
Crazy Easter egg because...
Yeah.
And I'm surprised someone found it today because I don't even now I don't remember seeing that.
And I think Sonny Birch might have also been working under that. Unconfirmed. Might have been working for Intelligentsia.
That would be crazy because that would make his job make so much more sense. Because we still don't know what he was doing in the second Ant-Man movie.
Exactly. And so whatever happens here, I feel like there's an evil shield being built by Leader to develop, I don't even want to say develop supervillains, but it might be exactly what's happening. Grooming them, if you will, like gross word, to be worse going forward. And they're now going to attack all these heroes. The New World Order, honestly, that could literally just be everyone infected with gamma radiation and turning it into, oh, we've got to seal this off. That virus that was supposed to happen in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they might just repurpose that into the New World Order and utilize it to create more gamma beings. There's a Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It's called Gamma World, if I'm not mistaken, a 3-episode arc that Samuel Stern turns, I'm going to call it Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, an entire section of Nevada, including Las Vegas, all into gamma monsters. And Hulk is the only one who can go in there and save it, right? And if I'm not mistaken, the other Avengers get to like a gamma mask and shit, and they go in there and they stop it. That's a potential possibility for the New World Order. But if they can't stop him and stop Intelligentsia entirely from the outside, then you could totally send some gray characters such as Red Guardian, Black Widow, Bucky Barnes, Taskmaster into that organization, as they are all spies. Ooh, all spies. Nice. And they can take down Intelligentsia from the inside.
Interesting.
I don't know how we got here on these dots.
I don't either.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, Jade. When you see Thunderbolts, do you like that? Intelligentsia, do you think that's going to be the next big villain group, or do you think it's just for She-Hulk?
Listen, I don't know as much as you guys do. Let's be clear about that. I am just enthralled at what you guys are going on right now. So I'm just like, that sounds great. That sounds great. So I honestly, I don't have an opinion either way. I think it would be a cool. But the other thing is, like, where does Kang fit into all of that?
Yeah,
that's like
great question.
There's just so much that could potentially happen, but that like, how is it going to fit together? And like, we're really, like, realistically, we're only just about to get into phase 5. That seems like something that would happen, like you said, maybe like an Age of Ultron type thing, kind of like a middle ground for the new Avengers or whatever we're going to call them now. But I just am kind of thinking big picture, where does that fit in with like our big bad being Kane?
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Megan Thee Stallion might not do much against the guy who can write the timeline. Like it does put it into a weird perspective when you think about like how someone like Kang the Conqueror relates to this half-hour Disney Plus show we're watching. But yeah, no. When you put it into a different scope, Thomas, I see your gears turning. What is this unlocked for you? What are you thinking about?
Samuel Stern is nothing but a pawn, and he doesn't realize he's a pawn because Kang is so next level that he's slowly dropping intelligence to him for Intelligentsia. And he's the one, if Intelligentsia has been behind this the entire time, granted what Sonny Birch was doing was inside the sacred timeline. Now that the sacred timeline is broken, he can still go back and drop certain things in. So it's necessary inside the sacred timeline to happen. But once it's broken, those items are now free to be grabbed by Kang. And
conspiracy.
I'm trying to think of how to relate this to Avengers, the Avengers Kang Dynasty, the comic run, because he comes in and tells everybody what their future is. And then and everyone's like, oh, this is like thousands of years apart. And it's really like day 1, this happens. Day 2, this happens. Day 3, this happens. Day 4, that happens. And it's like, oh, by the way, you're about to be invaded by 4 different species all at once. And it seems like it's building to something much bigger. And I love Kang, so I'm always trying to figure out where Kang fits into any series. I've not tried with this, so now I'm like, he's in control of Intelligentsia.
Oh boy,
That'd be bonkers. What if Mallory's married
we're gonna be going all night on this.
to Kang the Conqueror?
But I
It's
thought
just a variant
Ravonna
of
was like,
Renslayer.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's just a Renslayer
Yeah.
variant.
Well, I mean,
Or maybe just a different variant of Kang.
Yeah, maybe
You know?
she's
Yeah.
king.
Yeah.
So,
she's
oh no,
Kang.
that's not what I meant. That's not.
I was all
I
for it.
meant
I was like,
she's-
yes.
No. Well, I mean that would be kind of sick, but no, I meant she's
That's
married to a
hiding in
different
plain sight.
variant of Kang.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I was thinking. Like, I don't mean like the Kang the Conqueror, the big villain.
Right.
Although he has been known to mate with women, drop them into a specific time period to raise the child, and then dip out and come back every 2 weeks, just so
So
that.
he's like ego, basically.
Sounds like
Trying to
they're-
just
they
plant
should be
his seed.
defending him. Yeah.
Absolutely, because then he can raise them into being a spear for his own making. It very
Gotcha.
much like ego, yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
good to
A lot
know.
of bad
I'm getting
guys.
all this knowledge up here right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
That's
head hurts
another.
a little bit.
Yeah, I can tell, yeah.
I have not eaten enough for
I thought you were gonna
these.
turn into the leader and it would just start growing. Like-
Just gross.
That would suck for me.
that would be bad. That would
That would
ruin a lot
either
of headshots.
ruin, or that would be so much money in getting new headshots. You have no idea, man.
Right.
I'd have to get
Yeah.
so many over like 3 years. Ugh, anyways, and I have to shave soon, so I have to pay
Imagine
more.
sending in your old headshot and then showing up like that.
What happened?
Catfish.
Gamma radiation.
Don't victim shame me.
Don't victim shame me.
I'm a gamma victim.
I thought you were about to say I'm a game of victims, and I was like, no, that's the Game of Thrones. But you're right, Gamma victim.
No, not the same thing.
Not the same
Stop
thing.
trying to convince me.
Never. What do you think happens next week? Is next week the Daredevil?
Who knows? thought it
I
was
don't
this
want to
week.
speculate. I don't want to speculate because I don't want to hear everyone get upset when it's not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, why are they promising this so much? They're like, please stick around. Please, or promise it's coming. Like, how long is it supposed to take?
Well, my thought is the original lineup of the show.
Mm-hmm.
If we take episode 1 and throw it at episode 8, that'd be right behind Daredevil. That feels like we'd be getting to a point where it crescendos and it's like, well, why are you so good at this being She-Hulk thing? The next episode we find out. It's kind of the energy and vibe I'm getting because I'm like, why would they
That's true,
choose
because
the
we would have
origin?
been asking that the whole time.
I've been analyzing like why did they
See, that
move
would've been-
8 to the beginning? Like why was that story at 8 in the season? Why was it where it was specifically? And so I've been trying to figure that out.
Yeah, right before the finale too.
And yeah, exactly. So, in fact, maybe Daredevil's episode 8 now. And
I think it is. Sam
blew
Hargrave
my
at the Direct made a pretty good point that like episode 7 and like there's 3 episodes left, 7, 8, 9. The 9 is definitely not going to be it because that's going to deal with whatever She-Hulk's going to deal with in the grand scheme of things. But he also said it's probably not going to be episode 7 because it's likely not going to overlap with whatever moment she has that leads her to that overlap with Daredevil. And the way he put it, basically said that's where they're going to introduce her super suit. I personally don't think that. I think we probably won't see that yet. But there was a shot of her with Daredevil wearing it. So
yeah,
she's going to have to put it on at least before she meets him. And I get that was kind of a good point that like that might be its own episode that ends with her putting that suit on. And then he shows up the episode after that. But Jade, do you care if Daredevil, do you care what episode it is? Like, does it matter? Because I care a lot, and I feel like a lot of people care a lot. So like, is this something to get worked up about?
It's hard to say because I kind of feel like no, because I love Daredevil and I would say the people that I surround myself with love Daredevil just as much as I do, and if not more. But I feel like I don't know. I kind of have a slight issue with the marketing pushing Daredevil so hard and then him not showing up, which to me, not a big deal because I love the show so much. I love She-Hulk so much. I love the characters that we've gotten already. So it's not that big of a deal to me. But for the people that are solely watching it for Daredevil are just, I personally feel like setting themselves up for disappointment. This isn't a Daredevil show. This is a She-Hulk show we knew it was going to be comedy from the beginning. We knew from the trailers. It's not supposed to be the Daredevil show. So
Right.
I personally,
Right.
in my opinion, please don't come after me, anybody. I think getting worked up over it is a little bit childish, in my opinion. So that's just me, though.
Hateful man babies.
Hateful man baby.
Yeah.
Well, then I think I'm turning into one because
Jesus Christ.
it's the combination,
Uh-oh.
like you mentioned, it's the combination of putting him in, a trailer, and then
As
putting
many
him in another trailer,
Yeah.
and then putting him in your mid-season trailer, and then ending episode 5 by panning over his entire super suit. And making it seem like the whole reason we just met that character is so that we can meet Daredevil in the next episode, and still continue to push these trailers.
Right.
Saying Daredevil's in this show and he still hasn't shown up yet.
I think my only counter to that is like my friend made a really good point today is that like we've seen Wong in the trailers. We knew he was going to be there and no one's had an issue with Wong showing up. Like, why is it? And I do understand why it's a bigger deal that it's Daredevil because it's a Netflix show that got acquired by Marvel and Disney. So like that's a huge deal. And we haven't seen Daredevil since 2018. When did the show end? 18?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, other than Spider-Man No Way Home, but like
right.
Wong we've seen in like every Phase 4 project so far.
I'm a Wong stan. According to my Twitter, I am a Wong stan.
Yeah, no,
this president of the fan club.
Yes, no, you're right though. The Daredevil moment, it's an actual moment. It's monumental to the MCU and that character because it marks a new era for it. So it's weird that they chose She-Hulk to really use that as like a crutch for it, because really his debut was in No Way Home, but they didn't use that in the marketing.
And
with She-Hulk,
that was one of my favorite parts of No Way Home, to be honest.
Me too.
When he showed up,
it was
I
there.
shit my pants.
Yeah, it was great. It was very nicely done. I'm surprised that happened in a movie theater, but I can't believe that they're using this as like one of the main selling points of the show, because it's been in the majority of the marketing for it. So I think that's where I draw an issue with it is like, he's not going to be important until the very end of it, but they're making it seem like he's a part of this show,
And I think
that's it. That's it. That's all I got to say.
No, I think that's very fair. I think it's the people that are like, why isn't he here from the start? And I'm watching it for Daredevil. Like I don't care about She-Hulk. Like
there's definitely a minority that's very
down.
loud about it and very unreasonable.
Right. And it's like my whole thing is that he's getting a show with 18 episodes.
Yeah. Right.
We're gonna be okay.
That's literally double this. We'll be all right. Right. Good point.
See,
Good
I
point.
think
we're gonna have a lot of Daredevil.
Cool. Yeah, and I think it would also be cool if maybe they're not showing it, which I hope we get maybe like a Foggy Nelson appearance. I would go crazy for that.
Too. Him and Nikki together would be amazing.
Oh, they would be perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's my new favorite duo. I need to see that.
Here
Nikki
we go.
And Foggy.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
Nikki Nelson.
Nikki.
Nice.
Hey, I like that.
Only because it's alliteration, not because they're getting married. Internet. Right.
Fun. Slick Nick.
I'm ready. Slick Nick. I think the way that last week ended, the fourth wall break happened this week. It's enough of a domino effect to make me go, maybe next week is Daredevil. Because once it was like, oh, we're not doing that, I'm like, okay, fine. This week's not Daredevil. It's just going to be pushed off another week, probably. Like, not next week, but the week after. It's no big deal. And then I rewatched it and went, that is just like looking at the camera and going, not yet, children, wait.
Right.
And it's like, okay,
as close as you can
maybe.
Get.
All I know is
I think that's part of the fun though. Like, is they're saying you need to chill out.
Right.
Calm your expectations a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good commentary to like the fandom as a whole, because like as soon as something new comes out, these vultures come out and just tear it apart, and like
totally
they just put it up against their own expectations and they just judge it based on that. And this show's been a very, very meta commentary on that.
Yeah. Hateful man babies. We're coming after you. Yeah, I'm still excited for Abomination in human clothes.
Yeah.
Just I'm ready for that. I've read that Banner, or Hulk, and Abomination have a scene together. I'm ready for that. I want to know what
Really?
that dynamic's like. I bet it's weird as fuck.
I hope it's.
I bet he's all like, "Oh man, like, hey, yeah, I'm great." I don't know why.
He does sound like Korg.
Korg.
He does.
You know, I was loaned out to the American government, and they put that super soldier serum in. I thought I was gonna, I don't know, become Captain Bloody America. So Bruce, I'm so sorry. Would you like me to read you a haiku? No. I don't need another one. Thank you. I feel like it's just gonna be so awkward and weird.
It's gonna be pretty anticlimactic. I can feel it.
Or they fight to the death.
Or that.
But they've already done that.
I guess that's possible too.
Probably.
I don't know. Is Hulk even coming back?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So it's confirmed?
I don't know. She can't get a hold of him.
So yeah, that's the thing, is she can't get a hold of him. But they had, again, Hulk leaving. Like, Hulk leaves. Oh, okay. And then you find out why he leaves. You'd find out why he left episode 8. So if he's back again, most likely episode 9 feels like the most likely.
Yeah, that's why I think they're not going to do it, is because I don't think they're going to waste any time episode 9 explaining where Bruce was. I think we might have to wait.
Again, they can just I had to go to Sakaar for a moment. What's Sakaar?
I'm going to be mad if they made it such a big deal that he was leaving. I'm going to be really mad if that was the reason why.
All I know,
yeah, I was there.
you guys are like, same. I'm like, who cares? Just like write it off with another line. Like, oh yeah, he wrote me a haiku. All is well. You know?
Jade, do you even care about Hulk in this situation? Like, does it matter if he comes back?
Well, I just kind of feel like there was a lot of conversations around World War Hulk, if I could say it. And so and then like you said, if he does come back in episode 9, I think it would just take away from the finale. Like, it would be cool for him to come back, but I think it like you said, they made such a big deal of him leaving and on the like that Sicarian ship. So I think it would just be kind of silly for him to come back, be like, "Hey, I'm back," and that's it.
Right? Yeah, I'm sure if he does come back, there'll be a good reason, and it'll probably work well for the story. But like it does seem like they went to a pretty great length to like remove him from Earth again. And so regardless of how important that ends up being, it would seem weird if that comes full circle by the end of this show.
Yeah.
I love that we really can't predict a damn thing about this show.
We don't.
And that's what's so awesome. It's a sitcom. It's not supposed to be
right. Yeah, and we're still talking about it like it's some big mystery like WandaVision. And it's really not that. But for what it's worth, it's been so enjoyable so far. And this might have been one of my favorite episodes just because of how much it made me grin. There were so many like feel-good moments in this one, you know?
This is definitely the most feel-good episode we've had yet. They should have thrown in Feel Good by the Gorillas in here while we were at it. That would have been a good one.
That'd be fire.
Next time. Probably not. We are, again, blessed to have been joined by Jade Rafallo. Where can everyone find you on social media, Jade?
You can find me on Twitter at Jade Rafallo. That's it. And then on TikTok, you can find me at Jade Talks Movies, and it's Talks TOKS. You can also find me sometimes at Agents of Fandom on TikTok and on Instagram, and then just Agents Fandom on Twitter.
Nice.
JRB, where can everyone find you on the social?
I love it. You can find me at JRB_direct on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Serialized. You guys know how it goes. If it's a place where I can write my thoughts, I'm probably on there. So come find me, and we'll talk all my favorite movies and all your favorite movies and everything fun.
I'm gonna hit you up on Letterboxd.
Sweet. I love it. I don't have enough friends on Letterboxd. I need to expand my circle. Jade,
I need to start plugging that.
Yeah. I do it on here for that reason. I'm like, can someone please read my reviews?
You can find me on Twitter at TCRochesterACT, TCRochesterACT. Also, Andor just fucking started. It is.
Yeah.
Are you ready for hyperbole?
About it. Yeah.
It is the greatest Star Wars show of all time. Live action.
Wow. Better than Mandalorian?
In my opinion, so far.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, no. To be fair, my favorite Star Wars movie of all time is Rogue One. So,
this is like a continuation of that, right?
Yes. No, prequel. 5 BBY. There is a cat. Is it a black cat?
Lady.
No.
Get it.
That's okay. It's still cool.
Get it.
Lady's like, hey, look, it's the pets of LightsThunderAction. Oh, it's
Except
a
this one
tab.
doesn't move.
And this is Thor. So
Thor.
As it should be. Yes. What a strong cat.
Strong.
Oh, it's got an M. Mighty Thor.
Mighty
So-
Thor. Love it.
yeah, he's a
Reckless
tabby.
He's a tab, you know. Reckless Rebellion, the Star Wars podcast. We recorded last night. We covered all 3 episodes. And we will be out every week. If you want my full, deep, in-depth, crazy Andor thoughts, that's the place to go. Because JRB does not watch Star Wars.
No, not really. Not most of it.
Sad.
Yep. I like Mandalorian though. I really like Mandalorian.
mad. I'm just disappointed.
Hey, I watched Obi-Wan.
Okay, Dad.
I watched Obi-Wan for you.
You did watch Obi-Wan for me, and you felt it was a. Okay,
I didn't
show.
like
I
it.
don't remember.
Wow.
What about you,
Yeah.
Jade? Are you into the Wars and the Stars?
Don't call me out, please.
I'm
I've
just asking.
only seen the original movies from 20 plus years ago, and I saw The Force Awakens and Rogue One. That's all I've seen. I just haven't kept up. It's not that I don't like it. I just haven't kept up with Star Wars. So
It's just not on your list of priorities.
right. So I deeply apologize
Fair.
to all
That's
my
okay.
people.
You owe
That's
no
okay.
one an
Don't yell at
apology.
me.
You don't owe anyone an
You would
apology.
be wasting your time.
I am deep into the Star Wars enough for all 3 of us combined.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
Thomas
But it's-
takes care of it, and then like if it's good enough, it'll overflow like the House of the Dragon review he gives me. Where like if it's good enough, I'll get that second hand like effect where he can just transfer it over to me.
like Princess and
Yeah.
the Scoundrel, the book, where Han marries Leia, and it juxtaposes 1 chapter's for Han, 1 chapter's for Leia, and it goes back and forth, and you're carrying on the same story from both of their perspectives. And in the audiobook, Han is read by Mark Thompson, my favorite narrator in Star Wars books, and Leia is read by no, I did not just forget her name. Oh shit, we don't have enough time for me to look it up.
You know what?
I don't remember her
you
name.
could have said literally any name there, and I would have been
Same.
okay with it. Right?
But then I'd be a liar. I can't do that. It is beautiful the way it just bounces back and forth between the 2, and I could not be a bigger fan of this book. And I'm our friend of the show, Leah Elizabeth. She has been harassing me for almost a month to hop into this book, and the Leia chapters are narrated by Saskia Marlevedel. No, Marlevel. Fuck. I'm gonna learn how to read that.
I hope you're not
name.
expecting me to remember this.
Nope, I'm not, because I can't even pronounce it. Highly recommend this book to my Star Wars nerds, and if you don't book, that's fine. Recommendations for the audience. JRB, do you have one?
Oh, yeah, I do. Do me last.
Jade, do you have any recommendation? It's just anything you're watching.
Just in
that you-
general.
Yeah, in general. In general.
For whatever reason, I've been talking. I think it's because of Olivia Cook coming into House of the Dragon this coming week.
Ooh.
Sound of Metal. Please go watch that movie. It's
Sound of Metal.
extremely underrated. It's her. Riz Ahmed is the main character. It was a Prime original, and it got nominated for an Oscar. It just kind of flew under the radar. It's about this drummer who ends up going deaf, and he has to like figure out how to live life being deaf and accepting that.
Whoa.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic. Olivia Cook is amazing in it, and I was just thinking about it because of House of the Dragon coming up this week. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I just pulled
That's
it
my
up right
one
now. I'm definitely
recommendation.
gonna watch this.
yeah. Also, I'm gonna go see Don't Worry Darling tomorrow. Check out my Twitter to see what
Don't worry,
we're
darling. That's
working
one of
with.
my most anticipated movies of the year. You got it.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
I will be looking for your thoughts on that.
We're in for a ride tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I'm excited
what I've
for you. That's
heard.
going to be an experience.
Yeah,
Wait, you're telling me you're not gonna go see Avatar re-release?
I am.
Oh shit. She's like,
You
fuck
have
you,
to.
dude. I'm going to both.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of things I need to go watch. So yes, but
Wow.
Don't Worry Darling, I mostly am now just going because of all the scandals and stuff that happened. So
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of drama.
Lots of
and
drama.
for Flo,
Mm.
Flo, of course.
For
Team
Flo.
Flo.
Got to go
Team-
for Miss Flo.
Team Flow.
Mhm.
Easy.
Team Flo all the way.
JRB, your recommendation. You seem to
Oh
have
yeah, I
found it.
was wrong. I didn't have one. I thought I did, but
Oh.
I will tell you. I mentioned this earlier. I've been watching the DC animated movies. My buddy
Yes.
sent me a list of like 12 of them that are connected to each other. So I started watching. I started with Flashpoint. Flashpoint Paradox.
Oh,
Dude,
you're in for a ride, buddy.
Since then, I've watched Justice League War, Son of Batman, Throne of Atlantis, Batman versus Robin, Batman Bad Blood, Justice League versus Teen Titans, and then today I watched Justice League Dark. Those movies are insanely good for what they are. And I can't believe how efficient the exposition is in them. Like they're only like an hour 15, hour 20. And they tell a better story than some of these live action DC movies. Like Justice League War is better than the Zack Snyder Justice League. Any cut of it. Like it's
concurred.
Dude, it's so good.
You're just watching these now?
Yes, I've never seen them.
Oh my God.
I have so many. I have so many to watch. Jade, have you ever checked any of these out?
Mm-mm.
They're on HBO Max. I haven't had to pay for any of these yet. So
HBO Max has got everything.
They really do. Like I used to really crap on the service, and I still kind of do for its interface. But
interface is horrible.
In terms of content, though, it's pretty vast
Fire.
now.
What's next? Is Justice League Doom next?
Good question. I've got the list right here. Next up is Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, which I've heard is very good.
Yeah. You
I've
ever
heard that's
Teen
one of the better.
Titans? You watched Teen Titans, the original animated show?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's one of my favorites.
You're gonna have some fun. I watched
Yeah?
the Judas Contract 3 times in a night because I decided to do 3 hours of cardio like an insane person.
Whoa.
When I was getting in shape. This was pre-hernia and shoulder surgery. So damn, that's a long time ago, dude. That was like 6 years ago.
Wow. Well, yeah.
Then that means Justice League Doom should be after. I think that was a 2017 drop.
As it turns out, Justice League Doom's actually not on this list, so you are gonna have to tell me where to fit this in because they must have missed it. It's not on here.
It's definitely in that universe because it's
okay.
It's
you know what? It's funny you mentioned that because I thought there were some missing entries because they talk about like I don't want to. Who am I spoiling this for? Do Jason Todd and Tim Drake not exist in this universe? Like, where are they? Because it goes from Dick Grayson, who's now Nightwing, straight to Damian Wayne. And they even say like Dick was the only Robin. I don't know. That's so not important. We're well over 2 hours.
That's a great question. But, I don't remember the answer.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
You said you just watched Justice League Dark?
Yes. I just watched Justice League Dark. Yeah.
That's with Batman and Constantine, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I know the movie I'm thinking of. Never mind. That's also with Constantine and a lot of those. Apocalypse War.
Oh, yeah. That's the last one on this list, apparently. It is. I heard that one was nuts. I just started working for the Direct when that one came out, and I remember the rift it sent into the DC fandom. Like, it was...
I stopped watching animated DC because I couldn't figure out what the universe was about to do.
Okay, wow. So I'm about to break my brain, but it's 7:15 at this point. Jade,
yeah, it is.
Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts about She-Hulk or about anything that's going on? Anything you want to plug?
I just want to say everyone just needs to start being nicer to each other on Twitter. Yeah. It's been getting really toxic lately, and it's hard to see, and it's hard to stop myself from responding to people. So I need to work on that. But just be nice to each other. That's all I gotta say. It's kind of cliche, but you can dislike the show, you can like the show, but just have respectful opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, some cordial discourse.
That leads right into my recommendation.
Totally.
Meditate, chill out, man. Do some yoga, drink water, stay hydrated. And I'm gonna leave. I did it on Rebellion last night. I'm gonna do it again. Live your life by a specific mantra. Pick one and live by it. Lately, I've been living by life is a gift. Love is the point. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we've reached the end of the show. As always, there could be no show without the Iron Man variant. To my right, the world-famous journalist John Ross Bradford, bringing a much-needed eloquence, wit, and Lady the Dog every week. Thank you, man. I love her. Thank you to Jade Rafallo for joining us this week to discuss She-Hulk. She's the biggest She-Hulk fan I know. Thank you to Terry McIver and David Thompson for their work behind the scenes. Thank you to the HWWS WebTV family for supporting us and carrying us on the network. And most importantly, Thank you to you, our fans that join us weekly, whether you watch on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or listen via Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, or Spotify. We appreciate you spending your time with us.
Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment, and leave us a review. And give us 5 stars, but only if you think we are worthy.
Worthy. As always, I'm TCR.
I'm JRB.
And this is...
And I'm Jade Rafallo.
Hey! Thank you for joining episode 101. Wow, of Lights Thunder Action. We shall see you next time. Real quick, we might not have an episode next week. I'm supposed to be traveling to meet some folks from the Direct. Huzzah! We'll find out. We'll update you on Twitter. Chicka-chickow.